So I had another announcement that I wanted to talk about was the grades. So as you may have seen, I put in most exam grades. There's still a few that I'm going to be grading. We still have some makeups that need to happen, so we can't hand them out. But if you do want to talk to either me or Aaron about your grade, you have any questions, you want to see maybe what you did wrong, then just come and talk to us. So, because we don't want to hand it out, obviously, if people are still needing to take the exam. And then also on Canvas, I pretty much tried to update all of the grades, so you all should have grades for something on there. I also tried to make sure that the points allotted on your grades is the amount of points that you can earn this semester. So it should be out of 1,000 points. So one thing to remember kind of when evaluating your grade, when you calculate it in, you can click either calculate it based on what you have submitted or calculate it based on all the grades, that haven't been submitted, which would drop your grades significantly, but you'll see kind of where those points will come from for the rest of the semester. So that also would give you an idea on how you're doing in the class and what you maybe need to do well on to improve if you're in a place for improvement. Also, I think most of the deadlines should be right. It's either they're right or they're pushed really far back because it's like a worksheet that we're going to do in class and haven't really decided which date it will be on. So definitely make sure you look at all the Canvas grades and make sure you're caught up. Like I said, oh yes, go ahead.
I guess the pages look right, but it's labeled as quiz 6 on March 25th. Is that quiz 6 or is that, or is it out of like all the quizzes that we've taken? Because I just saw quiz 6 and I was like confused.
It's the quick instructs.
Right, okay. I saw quiz 6 and I was like, shouldn't that be quiz 2? But now it's making sense to me why it's quiz 6, so.
Yes, from all the quizzes that we have in the class. So, and also with that, as you guys may have seen with the announcement I made, is that I gave you guys a little bit of extension because that wasn't up, I think, published for you all to see. It was up on my end, but it wasn't published for you all. So wanted to give you guys a little bit more time to go ahead and complete that. Did you guys have any other questions about your grades? Yes.
So for like the campus interview worksheet, I have a grade for it, but it says missing.
So it may be something, because obviously, you guys are supposed to be in class, right? So if you've turned it in class, it may be missing on Canvas, but I have a hard copy of it. So everything you have submitted will not be visible on campus if you turned it in class. So I definitely keep track of that. Or if you turn it in via email or something like that, I try to coordinate between the two. So that's why you would see missing there.
The essay drafts are optional, right?
Yes. So on the essay drafts, which I kind of updated this in the system, and I think I talked to you a little bit about it, Aaron, but I just now made sure everything was updated this past weekend. So with the essay drafts, they are optional. As you'll read on there, it is a complete, incomplete that you'll get just to kind of help you see what's happening instead of points and things like that. But if you read the headline in each of the essays, it does tell you this does not affect your grade if you don't turn it in. It is not essay, sorry, the essay draft. The essay will affect your grade if you do not turn that in. But the essay draft is optional just for you to get feedback. But we want to make sure that you can see if you completed it or not just on your kind of final grade list that you see. Any other questions? Okay, and like I've mentioned before, I obviously think these assignments are important. I wouldn't give them to you if I didn't. So I do allow for late submissions on your worksheets and things like that, but you will lose some credit for that. I'd encourage some of you to take advantage of that opportunity, and hopefully it still will help you kind of on your personal growth as well. And then also taking advantage of extra credit. So remember, this is out of a point system. So even if you made, like, say, a 65 on an exam. If you've done 5 points worth of extra credit work, then that bumps you up to a 70. So this is a point system rather than like a, I mean, it is obviously on a grading scale, but if you can get the amount of points that you see on your kind of rubric on the syllabus, it tells you how many points you need in order to get an A. So you don't have to get 1,000 points to get an A. It is, I think it's like 100 points off or something like that to where the A is, to where you could get that. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of extra credit, because I don't want at the end of the semester you're wondering how you can improve, because I feel like I try to give you guys a lot of opportunities to do better. Okay? Any questions? Okay.
If we weren't here last week, I know, did you hand out a hard copy for the essay? But it's on Canvas, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and
just wanted to look at it.
yeah, and I don't have
If
that.
it's on Canvas, it's fine.
It is, it is. And you'll probably find it underneath the Essay 3 submission.
Okay.
So when you go into that actual assignment, you'll see it there. And remember, that is coming up. The essay draft is due March 29th. So if you do want some feedback, make sure you turn that in then. And then the essay, the actual essay, is due April 1st. So you want to make sure you turn that in then. And remember, your Clifton Strengths should be uploaded to Canvas by now if you were not here to turn them in class. So you need to make sure that you do that, because remember, you're writing about that in your essay. So if you don't have that done, how are you going to do your essay? Okay? Any questions about that essay or anything? And Erin put up a video, I hope you guys saw the announcement, just to make sure you have instructions on how to access your feedback. So if you are having questions on maybe your grade or how you can do better, make sure you've reviewed that feedback.
You said the like assignment sheet is going to be on the submission.
I think so, it should be.
Is that up yet, or is it? 'Cause I'm not seeing it. I'm looking in the right spot. Is it queued and everything?
Let me see.
The draft submission is there, but
Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay, hold on. You may, I'm not sure what you guys can see that's like in like assignments, because I know sometimes I don't obviously publish the modules until we get there, but I'm not sure what's seen in assignments.
yeah, I
So-
see it on the calendar. Apparently, and sometimes like things don't show up on my iPad like they do on people's computers. Like I was
Okay.
struggling with the study guide.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. Well, yeah, and just please let me know when you see that. It should be up in the week 11 module, because that's when it's due, so you guys should be able to see that now. And then if you ever go into assignments, I know it looks a little different when I see student view. I'm not sure what you guys see, but assignments should have some of your upcoming assignments and things like that there. I don't know if the module isn't there or published. I don't know if that means you can't see it. I'm not really sure. But just let me know. Still trying to figure it all out.
I just tried to open it and see this resources.
Really? Okay. I'll check after class, because I tried to make sure all those things were updated. But I'll check after class, because sometimes I see the files are there and I can get them, but you can't for some reason.
I'll look on my computer too, because it could just be that.
Okay. Yeah, please let me know if you see anything any different. Any other questions about that? Y'all have a good weekend? Kind of got straight into business there. I'm just passing these out for you. Okay. Erin's going to be passing you out a worksheet that you guys can complete as you go through class today. It's going to be due, that doesn't look very good. It's going to be due next Tuesday. So if I were you, I'd get as much done as you can in class today. And if you finish in class, you can turn it in. If not, feel free to turn it in next week. Okay, sorry, never mind. I thought that would be easy. Okay, so before we get started today, I want us to do a quick review of last week, just to make sure you're on track. Because remember, your exam's going to be, gosh, is it next Thursday? No, that can't be right. Maybe it is right. Let me double check. But I know it's coming up soon. Yes, it's next Thursday, April 1st. So it's coming up soon, so you want to make sure you're paying attention, right? So all this stuff that we've done in Clifton Strengths will be on the exam. Stuff on that worksheet, I'd pay close attention, might help you prepare for the exam. And also Temple Grandin is a big part of the exam. So what we covered last week, let's do a quick review. What is a theme? And get your books out if you need it. It's good for you. Rather you tell me what it is than me tell you. That's what we did last week. So what is a theme? What is a theme? Yeah, just what's up there on the PowerPoint. What is a theme?
Is it like something you do that you're just kind of like naturally, like you can do naturally that you can either use like good or like you can develop it into a strength?
Not quite. That's another word we talked about last week. Not theme, but that is, you're describing another vocabulary word we talked about last week. Yes. Theme is a group of similar talents. A theme is a group of similar talents. Remember, you can definitely work on this worksheet as you go through class today, because some of these questions that we're talking about now are on the worksheet. You want to make sure you know the difference between these words, because they do have some similarities in how they work together, but on the exam you will need to know the difference. The next one, the answer is accidentally there, but what does a strength begin with? Strengths begin with talents. All strengths start with a talent. Do you guys remember what Clifton Strengths assessments measure? We talked about this last week. What does the assessment that you took actually measure?
Your top 5 strengths?
Mm-mm. No, it's something that you get. Your results are your top 5, signature themes, but it measures something very specific. Yes. It measures your talent. So remember, what does a strength start with? Yes, talents. And the assessment measures your talent. So what is a talent? You tell us, Anna, what a talent is.
It's something that you do like naturally, and you're good at it usually, or like you can use it to do good things.
Yes. So it represents the capacity to do something that you do well. It's a naturally recurring pattern or thought or behavior that can be productively applied. So if it's something that you're naturally doing pretty well, you may be sure that's a talent. Okay. And these PowerPoints are up on Canvas now, so you'll have access to them. So what is a strength? We saw that strength starts with talent, but what is a strength? Yes.
Isn't it like something you can do well consistently?
Yes, like near perfect performance. Ability to provide consistent, near perfect performance in a given activity. We gave that example last week when we talked about a diamond in the rough, and that's kind of your talent, but the finished, polished diamond is that strength. Something that you put practice in, you put time and commitment into to improve. So the strength formula. Does anybody remember what the strength formula was that we talked about last week? Yes.
Talent times like knowledge or like knowledge, skills, or I forget the other.
Yes, no, that's good. So, okay. Talent, and then you said knowledge and skills. That went here. So it was another word that we gave here that encompasses knowledge and skills.
Is it practice?
No, it isn't practice. But practice is what you do to kind of incorporate the skill and knowledge. Y'all know. Oh, I know. Well, we may do Jeopardy next week for the review. It's investment. Investment. So talent, remember, this is how you get the strengths formula. So this is how you get to a strength. So talent, remember, all strength starts with a talent. And a talent is something that you naturally do well. It's a naturally reoccurring pattern of behavior, thought, all those things. Something that you naturally do well. Investment, that's skills and knowledge. Investment is skills and knowledge. Having the knowledge of something and then the ability to do it, the skill set to do it. And that will get you to a strength if you put that. And that includes that practice, like you said, the practice, the discipline, the working at it, because it's not something that comes overnight. Any question about that? Again, you want to make sure you know that vocabulary for the exam next week. Okay? So what I want you to do on a sheet of paper is I want you to write down the 5 strengths that you got from your assessment. Just your 5 strengths. And at least if you can remember your top one, put that one first, but the rest, it doesn't really matter. But just write down your 5 strengths. You're welcome. You go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. you go. Go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Gosh, Aaron's gonna beat me to it. Does everybody have their 5 written down, or are we still retrieving them?
I'm gonna set mine to you, and it's like not letting me log in.
Okay. I know I do have yours.
I know the one thing.
Try to see if I can find it really quick. What I can do is I'll pull this up because yours is on here because I got it. Now, if I got your strengths at kind of a semi-early time last night, I put it on a sheet. I didn't do everything I typically do because I didn't have everybody submit it, so that was a bummer. But I was able to at least put it so you guys can see it. So for those of you who submit it, they should be here. And like I said, if you submit it after a certain time yesterday evening, then I didn't get it. On here, and I'll update your stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each of these and we're gonna read through them in class just to kind of go over each actual kind of strength theme. And this reference card, I'd encourage you to study it. It will help you on the exam if you are familiar with these strengths and the definitions of them. So as we kind of go through the list, if you got if one of your results was one of these strengths that we're talking about, now I want you to stand and I want to talk about some examples of, well, one, someone will tell us and read what it is, but then also some examples of how you've seen this happen in your life. Because remember, this is part of your essay too, so this should be helpful in just articulating what it is each of these strengths are and how you see them present in your life. Okay? So for the first one, achiever, if you got achiever, stand up. Okay, so anybody who wants to kind of read what achiever is first, and then we'll go through kind of what an example is that you've seen it in your life. Yes. And anybody can read.
Achiever. People especially talented in the achiever theme have a great deal of stamina and work hard. They take great satisfaction from being busy and productive.
Okay. Can everybody hear that? So where have you guys seen achiever? Do you all feel like that was a good kind of representation of who you are? Okay, let's give a quick example of where you've seen achiever active in your lives, each of you. Okay, I can imagine.
Yeah, I grew up playing sports and track and field, so definitely.
Absolutely. Got to have a lot of stamina in those areas.
Yeah, I was in high school. I was like never satisfied. Like I would get officer position in like FFA, and then I'd be like, okay, well now I need to go do something else. So I'll try theater too. And then now that I've done those two things, now I'm gonna go do something else. Like I was never satisfied. Like just doing one.
Right. Very busy, always trying to kind of improve and do the next best thing. Okay, again.
I would say kind of showing a lot of stuff too.
For sure. For sure. So let's go to the next one. activator. Okay, two activators sitting right beside each other. Are y'all friends outside of here?
Yeah, we're like best friends.
Interesting, okay. Let's read it.
The activator says, people especially talented in the activator theme can make things happen by turning thoughts into action. Once a decision is made, they want to act quickly.
Okay. How have y'all seen that happen in your lives?
I don't know, I'm very much a think after you jump kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about things too much, then you're never going to get it done.
Right. Okay.
I like to kind of just look at everything and be like, okay. And then I make a decision, and then like, I don't know, I've talked to her a lot about stuff that I do, and I'm like, do I do this? And then I usually get like 3 people's opinions, and then I'm like, okay, well your opinion was whatever, and then I'm like, okay, now I have to do it. So I made the decision. I got my information from people that are important to me, and then I was like, gone, doing it.
Right. Very good. Everybody needs an activator on the team, especially when you have some of the other talents present in a team. Okay. Adaptability.
Are we doing if we have them at all? Just our top one?
We'll go through all, but like if you stand up, you may not talk on each one.
I feel like if we have it in our top 5, we're standing up.
Yes, yes. Anytime you hear your strength, stand up. Okay. And yeah, we'll do it like that. Who got adaptability as their top one? Okay. Okay, well, one of you 3 read it and then tell us a little bit about it.
People, especially talented in the adaptability theme, prefer to go with the flow. They tend to be now people who take things as they come and discover the future one day at a time.
Okay. Can y'all give me an example? For those of you who got it in your top, give me an example of how you see adaptability in your life.
I don't really stress out about things. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is what I have to do next. And I just kind of work, and then I'm like, okay, that's next. I just have to work, and like, so like I can like be working from like noon to 2 a.m. and just kind of be like, not really care about it, because I'm just like, that's the next thing I had to do. So like, I just continue going with it. Or like when people are like, hey, like let's go golfing today. I'm like, okay, like I don't really care what else I have to do today. Like I'll just go golf today and figure it out later. So.
Right, go with the flow for sure.
Yeah, I feel like in groups I don't really initiate like a plan. I'm not a planner. Just doing what else doing.
Right, okay.
You know, I kind of do the same thing. We're all going to do the same since we all got adaptability, but I think like it's like easy to plan ahead, but like you never know what's going to be thrown at you. So like say like your friends want to go play golf, and you go play golf and stuff.
Right.
So I'd rather just go with the flow than be like, no, I had this planned.
Right.
So just do it whatever I want at whatever time. I really believe in the Lord provides. So
Yes, I agree with that.
It'll happen.
Right. Right. So you see where you could maybe mutually benefit from, because you have both of these, from adaptability and activator.
See, I think it kind of plays off the activator because, like I said, I'm very much a jump before you think kind of person, and you kind of have to be, like, you have to adapt in that situation because I'm not gonna lie, I never know what my day brings. Like, I know what's set in place, but at the same time, like, what's gonna happen afterwards? I don't know, we'll find out. Like,
Right.
I went to Kansas, like, just because.
Wow. But you had the activator in you to go ahead and go and make the decision to go. Okay. You guys can have a seat. I think what I'll do is have each of you who have your top ones speak on it. Okay? So the next one we have is a ranger. Did anybody get a ranger? Anybody? Okay, so I'll read that one. A ranger is people especially talented in the ranger theme can organize, but they also have a flexibility that complements this ability. They like to figure out how all the pieces and resources can be arranged for maximum productivity. So as we go through these, you definitely want to keep these in mind when you do watch the Temple Grandin film, because some of these you may see apply to her. You're going to be asked to apply them to her. I'll pass out a worksheet before you leave. But definitely think outside the box on how these apply to someone's life. Okay, the next one is, and I'll share what I had too as we go. I was achiever too. That is one of my strengths, so I can definitely relate. I mean, stamina is something definitely have to have in grad school and lots of late nights, but it's just like you're always trying to figure out, like you said, the next thing and what can you accomplish. So I can definitely relate to that. I've always gotten achiever. It used to be my top, but it's not so much anymore, but that's always been there. And sports was part of my life. I still try to play sports, and I just started playing volleyball, and I was looking up like videos to improve my technique, and I'm like super adult. I am not about to go play competitive anywhere like that, but just wanting to be better. I don't want to be out there and mediocre, but I do want to improve where I can, so definitely relate to that. So let's move to the next one, belief. I know several of you got belief. So any of you who are standing up, was belief your top one? Okay. Go ahead. Okay, both of you, between the two of you, one of you read it, and then y'all tell us about example.
People talented in the belief theme have certain core values that are unchanging. Out of these values emerges a defined purpose for their life.
Okay. So where's an example where you see belief as kind of a strong presence in your actions and behavior?
Well, for me, I think it's just like I believe something's going to happen, and until you prove that it's not going to be that way or it's changed or anything like that, but it's just how it's going to be for me. So I'm just, for me, like, I believe that I'm going to do this job for the rest of my life one day, and then I'm going to do this afterwards. I'm not going to change my mind until I'm not doing it anymore. So.
Okay, yeah. Example.
Yeah, I have a very just like a few core values, and as I look at stuff like this, I'm like, okay, yeah, the majority of the things in my life revolve around the same. Treat others how you want to be treated. I'm the same way. I believe good until something bad happens. Things like that.
Mm. We need more people like that. Seriously. I feel like I used to be more like that. It's like the older I get, the less positive I am sometimes with some people. Okay, cool. So let's move to the next one. Command. Did anyone get command? Okay, I'll read that one. Command. People especially talented in the command theme have presence. They can take control of a situation and make decisions. And then as you kind of see, what you can't see all the way on there, let me get on back to the PowerPoint. We're going to go over kind of what these are, but remember that each of these strengths fall into a domain. So you guys should have read about that in the book. So command is certainly an influencing theme, and those kind of people can really, just get a crowd going and get them to get some stuff done. In evaluating these deeper, because over the last couple of years I've really gotten into strengths and teaching it as well as learning it in different ways. It allows me to see my leadership style is probably the worst word to use, but it allows me to see how I lead and my weaknesses and where I lead. So command for me, influencing people, I don't even know if any of mine are in influence. I don't think any of my strengths are in the influencing theme. And I find that that's kind of the hardest part for me, is to influence. Some people just who naturally maybe are engaged with what I'm talking about, that's great. But when I really got to get for my nonprofit, getting my board on juiced up to go, it was really hard because I'm well, if you have the time, let me know. I'll just take Achiever and just do it all myself. And that was just really poor leading. But it allowed me to see being on another board, and I saw this leader had maybe more woo characteristics where I'm more let's just get it done. I don't need to hang out with you to get work done. But they're very much we need to hang out. When are we going to have the next social? But I saw her ability. I don't know what her strengths are, but I saw she was able to influence in a different way than I was. But also I had some other things that I think helped our board too. So definitely as we go through these, kind of I picked out with activator and adaptability, seeing how these things work together. Because remember, it says that you guys don't need to be well-rounded, but your teams need to be. So keep this in mind as we're going through these. Okay, the next one, communication. Anybody get that one? Okay. Or any of y'all communication your top one? Okay. So both of you guys read, or one of you read communication to me.
People, especially in the communication team, generally find it easy to put their thoughts into words, and they are good conversationalists and presenters.
Honestly, I never shut up. I don't. I just talk all the time.
So do you like public speaking and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, what about you, Catherine?
I think I took a little different route.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that great of a conversationalist. I cry a lot.
Oh.
But, like, if you can't talk, though, like, I probably won't talk to you. Like, you have to be able to, like, plan and organize, and I think through communication is the best way. No matter if it's in person, over the phone, text, email, like, whatever. I think that it's, like, nothing can really get done if you don't communicate about it.
Right, right. And remember when we talked last week, it said that your strengths can be, you may have the same strength, but they can be visibly different within each individual. So that's a perfect example of what we talked about last week, that both have communication as your top theme, but it just shows a little bit different. Okay? Awesome. What about competition? Okay. Nice. Well, we got a lot of competition in here. Anybody have it as their top? Oh, no one has it as their top? Okay, then. Well, anybody can read. Just if you haven't talked on another strength, let's do it that way.
People especially talented in competition theme measure their progress against the performance of others. They strive to win first place and revel in contests.
Okay. How about one or two you give me an example? Someone that hasn't shared yet.
I think that pretty much just
I'm not like the wicked competitive person. Like I am with myself. Like I don't really like to keep it like on the DL. That way, I'm a very nice human.
Yes.
But inside, it's like a burning rage.
Are you like the Elmo? Is it the Elmo meme where he's like with the fire? Is that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
inside?
basically.
I feel like we figured out why our debate was the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start to understand each other a little bit more. For sure, for sure. Anybody else want to share a competition?
Well, I can definitely relate with that. Because it's like you want to be chill about stuff, but it's like once someone's like, okay, go beat them, it's like, well, now I have to.
Yes. Yes.
And then if you don't, it's like, it sucks.
Yeah,
So,
no one
that's
wants
about all I
to.
can say about that.
Understood.
I don't think I've ever kept my competition on the down low.
Yours is more emergent.
Yeah, so, as a basketball player, they always tell you, keep your emotions in check, but at the same time on the basketball court, you can see everyone's emotions on their face at every point in time. So even within the fraternity house, we'll be like, okay, we're doing the March Madness tournament. That got pretty heated. We had people leave. And,
Oh, gosh.
yeah, it gets pretty heated, but I feel like it's good to have people like that out there that
Absolutely.
just actually show their emotions, that they're passionate about something.
Yes. Which one was it on your list? What number? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was number 3.
Okay.
It was right behind adaptability and belief.
Okay. Very cool. Well, thank y'all. I don't have competition as mine, but I feel like it, because you only get your top 5 and there's 34, but I feel like it's got to be up there because, like I said, I've been playing on this rec league for volleyball, and we got beat so bad Sunday night. We got beat so bad that one server served 25 points on us. We didn't even rotate, okay? It was bad. It was so bad. I ain't been beat that bad, I don't think, ever. So, and I've been playing open gym on Saturday, so I'm not I can't Missy, I haven't seen her playing forever. Not just superstar status, but I'm doing okay, playing on the weekends. And it was just I got put on a random team, and they're amazing, really nice people. And then we have some people who are really, good. And then we have some people that maybe are just playing for fun. And I'm playing for fun too, but like you said, I don't want to go out there and lose. And the girl kept serving, one of our teammates went and asked, hey, can we just rotate, to like get her off of serving? And they were like, that's kid rules. We can't do that. You guys are adults. And then it was like, I was trying to strategize, like, okay, guys, maybe we should cover it. They're like, we just can't do it. And I'm like, what do you mean we just can't do it? We're just going to give up? Like, we can't get it back over the net? It was bad. Really sweet people, but I felt like, I was like, I don't want to lose, like, especially like this. It was a career low for me.
I hated playing intramurals with me in college because I love to play, but I'm not competitive. And I was on an ultimate frisbee team, and we had to forfeit every game, but we still played.
Oh no! Yeah, no, like I played flag football. We were like all the intramural teams I played, we won, and it was fun. And
we had to forfeit every single team, every single game because we didn't have enough people.
You sound just like my mom. Like, I feel like my mom is talking like you have to win. Like,
yeah, like
Devin and I are like the intramural softball team, and
There's a lot of different moves on that.
I think we're bad. We're just very angsty.
see, and it's like fun, to keep it competitive, but it's like I just don't want to get beat like that. At least if we were tit for tat, it's still a workout. But I mean, the other team didn't even get to hit the ball really at all. So my daughter starts soccer this week, so we'll see how that goes. She's 4, so I'm going to just try to make sure she's having a good time. I won't drill winning into her. It is all about fun, so we got practice tonight. We'll see how it goes. I don't think she'll understand. I don't want her to be the sore loser this young. That's not good.
Yeah, see, that's like where I was talking about basketball, like intramural basketball last year, they shut it off. Like Seth was our coach and he broke a clipboard over his knee.
Oh gosh.
We were killing people by like 30.
So yeah, no mercy. Man, if you want mercy rules, you gotta go somewhere else. That's my motto. Okay, back to the work we were supposed to be doing. Connectedness. Anybody have connectedness? That's actually my top theme, believe it or not. People, especially talented in connectedness theme, have faith in the links between all things. They believe there are few coincidences and that almost every event has a reason. So, really? I think I've really kind of grown to be more like that, just with my faith. And sometimes I think it helps keep you a little sane, because it's like if you can just... In my life, I feel like just with my faith system, I've always been pushed to do stuff I didn't want to do. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. But every time that has happened, some revelation has come along down the line. And I'm like, that's why. Like, I didn't really want to come to OSU. It wasn't really my top choice. So, like, for my master's, I'd never been to Oklahoma. Didn't really know what to expect coming to Oklahoma. But ended up being a really great experience, great program. Met my husband. Like big life things that... If I would have went to where I wanted to go and got in, then maybe who knows what my life would be like. So I definitely believe that all things happen for a reason. Everything's connected. We're here for a bigger purpose. Okay, consistency. Did anybody get that one? Okay. Was it your was it your top one or no? No. Okay, go ahead and read it to us.
People especially talented in the consistency theme are keenly aware of the need to treat people the same. They treat everyone in the world with consistency by setting up clear expectations and adhering to them.
Okay. Where have you seen that one?
I think, like, in my family, I'm the oldest of 3 siblings, and I feel like a lot of times, like, when we have family, like, not like big arguments, but just like arguments, I'm always the one that's like not taking sides. I'm like, oh, well, like, I can see this on mom and dad's side, but like I can also see this for like my brother and sister side. Like I'm never taking sides. I'm always like trying to point out that everybody has like valid points.
Yes. That's very important. I can imagine with siblings, multiple siblings, that would be a really great trait to have. Okay, context. I'll start reading them just so we can try to get through them before class. Anybody get context? I don't think I saw it. Oh, yeah, okay. Context, you can go ahead and stand up and tell us a little bit about it. Context is people especially talented in the context theme enjoy thinking about the past. They understand the present by researching its history. When have you seen that happen?
And I've always been highly interested in history. I love the Mongolians and the revolution. So, I don't know, sometimes like something will happen and I'm just like, I've seen that before. But I think learning from the past, like you don't want to dwell on the past, but learning from it is definitely a strong strategy for navigating the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's important too. It helps you connect and understand the future a little bit more, maybe understand people and behavior a little bit more if you understand a little bit of background. Okay? Deliberative. If you have deliberative, stand up as I read this. People especially talented in deliberative theme are best described by the serious care they take in making decisions or choices. They anticipate the obstacles. Either y'all get it as your top? Okay. Tell us about it, Braylon.
I like overthink everything, but not even just think about it, like overthink it. I don't feel like it's a strength, it's actually a weakness.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So, stress, like, yeah, I just overthink everything.
Yes. I can relate to that in some ways too, for sure. And it talks about it too, with just blind spots and how some of these strengths can create those blind spots. So just being mindful, like you said, that, okay, if I go overboard with this, it can really enable my progress. Okay, let's move to the next one. You have this one stand up, developer. I know a few of you had developer. People especially talented in the developer theme recognize and cultivate the potential in others. They spot the signs of each small improvement and derive satisfaction from these improvements. Any of y'all get it as your top one?
It's my number 2.
Okay, I'll let you give us an example.
Just like wanting to go into education, like I'm very energized by people. I feel at my best when I've been around people and I've been working with people, which is also weird because social batteries drain very fast. But just working with people and seeing how much better I feel whenever other people make progress. Playing sports all through high school. My little saying is athleticism low, enthusiasm high.
That's good.
We were not good, but you know, I like seeing everybody else was doing great things and was continuing to do great things, and that was really what made it worth it for me.
Yes, very much so. I think in education, being a developer is really helpful because you do have to meet people where they are and understand what progress looks like for each student will be different.
I think like Dr. Stein last semester, his animal science class, said something about like just because you learn differently than other people, it doesn't mean you're smarter than them. You were given different opportunities, and I think that resonated with me because that's kind of what UTP is about. Is like you do have to apply that with the developer's strength.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Opportunity really can change things. Okay, empathy. If you have this one stand up. People especially talented in the empathy theme can sense the feelings of other people by imagining themselves in others' lives or others' situations. Okay, Julie, can you give us an example? Or either you guys have it as your top.
It's my number 4.
Okay, go ahead, you tell us about it.
Okay. Everything kind of goes well in my 5, I think, because like competition and stuff is like high up there too. So I can like be on a high of winning, and I'm like, oh, but they lost. I'm sorry. Like, are you okay? And like I really like reading body language and stuff too.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of goes well with empathy.
For sure.
And just being like, are you like you're saying you're okay, but I know you're not. So I'm gonna ask again like 3 more times until you like tell me that you're not okay, because I know you're not.
Right. I can feel your energy. Yeah.
I think you skipped discipline.
Oh, did I? Okay, sorry. We'll go back to that. Sorry, guys. I know the disciplined people probably definitely noticed too. Thanks, Julie. Okay, discipline. People especially talented in the discipline theme enjoy routine and structure. Their world is best described by the order they create. Okay, tell us about it, Bailey. Oh, you got it.
Characteristics, that's actually my second one. But I would say I am definitely disciplined. I really thrive in like structure and organization. And when people are unorganized or things are unorganized or there's no structure, I literally just break down. So, I'm like, oh, but it's fine.
But not really.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Want to share a little bit about yours?
I don't know, I definitely see this in my life, but it's like I get home and I have to like do a certain amount of things. Like I have my own little schedule for every day, and I hate group work because Because people just don't always want to do something, and it's hard to, like, I can try to include them in it, but I've kind of just have been like, okay, like, if I email it to you and you don't respond to me, like that's it.
Right.
Like, that's all I'm going to do, because I'm not going to force someone to do things.
Right.
I'll just do it on myself. So,
Right.
Are you like the type of person that like wants to do it on yourself so it gets done right?
Yeah.
Right, so I have to do
I
it.
presentation tomorrow. I feel so bad. I did it all, so.
But at least you know you'll get a good grade, right?
You got theirs.
Right. Okay.
That's not the presentation, that's how much.
I know, it's like you've done all you can. Okay, focus. For those of you who got focus, people especially talented in focus theme can take a direction, follow through, and make the corrections necessary to stay on track. They prioritize, then act. No focus people in here. Okay. Futuristic. People especially talented in the futuristic theme are inspired by the future and what could be. They inspire others with their visions of the future. Tell us about it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of all over the place. You go from think before you, or jump before you think, and then I do think about my future a lot, like what I want in my life, so.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, harmony. People especially talented in the harmony theme look for consensus. They don't enjoy conflict. Rather, they seek areas of agreement. Who had harmony as the first one? Anybody? Okay. Tell us about it, because we haven't heard from you.
I like understand not everyone's always going to agree on the same thing, but my outlook is sometimes people need to learn to agree to disagree, because there's nothing's ever going to get solved, or no progress is going to be made if you're just going to sit around and talk about the things that you don't understand, or like the things that you don't agree on. So I just feel like having harmony is just being able to get along with everybody no matter what the differences are, and I try to do that. So.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll hop on to the next just so we're running low on time. But I'm sure that theme comes in handy for you guys during times like these, because it's lots of discourse and disagreement going on culturally. So hopefully you guys aren't too, hopefully you guys aren't too worn out. Okay, ideation. Those of you who have that, stand up. People especially talented in the ideation theme are fascinated by ideas. They are able to find connections between seemingly disparate phenomena. No one? Okay. Includer. People especially talented in the includer theme are accepting of others. They show awareness of those who feel left out and make an effort to include them. Okay. Anybody can go on this one. You all have went. Just one of you guys.
Includer is my second one, so I think it's kind of funny that
Harmony and
the
include,
first
yeah.
one. I just don't like it when people feel left out, or like I feel like that makes them feel like lower or smaller than they are.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just like people feeling good about themselves.
I agree. It's not one of my strengths, but I do feel, some of these I feel like that's me too. Definitely hate when people feel left out. That's not cool. Okay, individualization. People especially talented in the individualization theme are intrigued with the unique qualities of each person. They have a gift for figuring out how people who are different can work together productively. No one. Okay, input. People especially talented in the input theme have a need to collect and archive. They may collect information, ideas, history, or even relationships. Okay, that makes sense, because what was your other one with the past?
Context.
Yeah, this is making sense. Okay, tell us about it.
With this, it's like I see relationships in a positive light, but to me they're also a way to benefit myself in the future. Like just emotionally, like within like an employment like area. So, and I just see, like you can see this, like I just see a value in a lot of things. And if I like it, then I kind of keep it, I guess. I don't know, I'm kind of a hoarder a little bit, but more of a hoarder of like I have a lot of notebooks full of just random stuff, so.
Cool.
But, yeah, okay.
Very cool.
I feel like, for me, input, I feel like that's almost the opposite of my activator. Because with activator, I'm like, I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm doing it.
Interesting perspective, yeah. Okay. Intellection. People especially talented in the intellection theme are characterized by their intellectual activity. They are introspective and appreciate intellectual discussions. Either y'all have it as your top. I can't remember what y'all said your top
I'm
one.
number 5, so that's my last one.
Okay, go ahead and tell us about it.
I don't know, I like good conversation. I like kind of like going deep into like stuff. I think it goes well with like my empathy. Like I like finding things. And so like some of the best memories of like good conversation is sitting at our dinner table with like a stack of cards and like a couple beers beside us, and we'll just talk about like everything under the sun.
Yes.
And I just like good conversation. I like finding out new things, and like I like having people surrounded me that have like different areas of intellect.
Yes.
So we can all like learn and bounce ideas off each other.
Yes.
I like having people that are like similar around me, but also like having people who are total opposites. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Like learning.
Very cool. Thank y'all. Yeah, I have intellection as it was my 5th one too, and I love talking like, what is life like? You know, my biggest thing is this, like, you know, you look at TV shows, like I'll use This Is Us because most people have seen that show, and like you have these characters and they're just like living in their little average homes and their average families, and like everybody walking in Walmart has these average lives. You know what I mean? Like when you look at life on the scale, like somebody is talking about, like everybody goes, when they go to the bathroom, they're doing the same thing, almost everybody. You know what I mean? Like it is, like what is the big purpose of all of us on this planet, and everybody has different reasons and all those things. I love talking about kind of bigger meanings. Okay, the next one, learner. People especially talented in the learner theme have a great desire to learn and want to continuously improve. In particular, the process of learning rather than the outcome excites them. Okay, Erin.
Because that's my number one.
Yeah.
Hard number one. Languages for fun. Like I'm insane. And all the stuff. I love documentaries. That's my favorite kind of movie. I'm always listening to podcasts that are like how to learn how to do something. And all my hobbies include learning how to do something. So I'm insane.
Yeah.
I love learning.
You love me.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
like constantly. I fall down rabbit holes all the time. I have like this whole weird wealth of information. Yeah. Right now I'm learning about Bitcoin.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking when you were saying, I'm like, she's learning about this, it's all making sense.
I know, I'm always talking to you. I'm like, hey, I'm learning about this thing this week. So if you want to chat about it.
Yes, yes. Very cool. See, learning all this stuff makes us understand each other a little more. I hope that's kind of happening. The next one, maximizer. People especially talented in the maximizer theme focus on strengths as a way to stimulate personal and group excellence. They seek to transform something strong into something superb.
But yeah, I think that kind of goes to my competition one, because like maximizer is my number 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then competition. So I thrive in competition. So I kind of like group projects. So then I'm like, okay, we can do this, and I like influencing people and stuff to just like be better, and like kind of goes with like basketball and stuff. Like,
Yes.
like, being together and like doing something together as a group that we're all like great at.
Oh, very cool. It's interesting to hear you guys describe yourselves more. Like, it's like I feel like we should do this the first week of class. Okay. Huh? Oh yeah, I know, right? One big thing too is to note, kind of as we go through these, is think about, man, what if I had used this to put your teams together? Like I had based your strength results and then put your teams together to balance it out. Like, would that have made it easier?
I think splitting, because I remember thinking, I was like, 3 of us were like on one side and the other 3 were on that side. Like, it was one of our strengths, we were split up equally, and I was like, well, that was kind of fun. That kind of made it even, I guess. It was something, I can't remember if it was like adaptability or.
I think it was the competitive.
Or maybe it was competitive, I'm not sure, but I was like, that makes sense.
Yes, yes, for sure. Okay, so I think positivity, right? We're on that one. Positivity. People with this theme have enthusiasm that is contagious. They are upbeat and can get others excited about what they are going to do. Okay, man, yours just really connect. Okay.
4 of my 5 are in a relationship.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You want to be friends? No, I guess my outlook on life, it's my 4th one, but I felt like it probably should have been higher. I don't know. Things are going to happen in life, even if you try to prepare for them to not happen, they're probably going to happen anyways. So what's the point of being upset or not being in a better mood about it? Because life's going to go anyways, and it's going to happen no matter what. So
Yes.
might as well have a positive outlook on it.
Very cool.
I don't think I do that all the time. I try to.
Right. Very cool. Okay, relator. People especially talented in the relator theme enjoy close relationships with others. They find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. Anybody get that as their top one? Okay, one person give us an example how you use it.
I can say in my life, like my friends and family are probably like the center of it, so I can definitely see where it says like the relationships with others. I can definitely like see that in my life.
Yeah, that you really value them. Okay, thank y'all. I got relator as one of mine too, and I definitely have that same thing. Family, friends, like the closest people to me, they're very important. But sometimes I think, like we talked about, kind of how I can create blind spots. I think it sometimes makes me look a little guarded because I like talking to other people, but I don't really share a lot about myself unless maybe we are close. But I find myself when I'm working with students, I'm a little more open than I am with just regular like people, because I'm just like, please learn from my mistakes. Don't do that. Like I'm more open to talk about it than just talking to a stranger. I'm like, they don't care about what I got going on. Let me just learn about them. So, okay. Next one, responsibility. I know some of you guys had that. People with this take psychological ownership of what they say they will do. They are committed to stable values such as honesty and loyalty. Anybody have that as their top one? Yeah, we talked about it last week. Tell us about that.
I feel like I'm always like the mom of the group. I guess like if you ask me to do something, I'll get it done.
Very cool. Y'all feel like moms and some of your friend group.
Like the mom friend.
You're right. No.
I'm 100% the mom friend. Don't call me, like, I mean, you can call me for a ride, but I'll probably be in bed. Yeah. She told me one day, she's like, you're like the restaurant that says they close at 9:30 because the girls shut off at 9. And I was like,
And then you hate when that person comes up at 9:15 and you're like, I've already cleaned up for the night.
No.
Okay, great. Restorative. People with this theme they adapt at dealing with problems. They are good at figuring out what is wrong and resolving it. Okay.
This one, I feel like I'm not very tactful, so I'm kind of surprised it's actually in my top 5. But I think like it kind of goes with like harmony and consistency. I just don't like problems in general, and
Yes.
I don't like conflict. So like I can find any way to like resolve the issue or fix the issue. I will do it, and I'm always like, I'll be the person to like take the hit for it. I'll be like, oh, like I don't know if there's a problem in the group, I'll figure it out. I can do it. Like I just want things to be perfect and like.
Right. So it's like you don't like the problems, but you can deal with them to try to get rid of the problems. Perfect. Okay, self-assurance. People with this feel confident in their ability to manage their own lives. They possess an inner compass that gives them the confidence that their decisions are right. Makes sense with your belief, right?
Yeah.
This makes sense. Okay, tell us an example.
Well, I just gotta be my way, I guess. I mean, I think that I know that what I'm doing is correct, and I know that I can do it, and I really don't need your help to do it, but if you want to help me do it, so it's kind of more like an independent thing, I guess, almost in a way, but I have that belief that I can do it, and then I just don't.
Right.
But hopefully, for everybody else to do it, I guess that's what that means for me.
Right, very confident. Yeah. Okay. Okay, significance. People with this want to make a big impact. They are independent and sort projects based on the level of influence it will have on their organization and others around them. Anybody have that as their top? Okay. One of you two, tell us a little bit about it.
I guess I was kind of surprised that this is my top one because, like, I do, like, want to make an impact on people, but at the same time, I'm like, people are going to do what they want to do.
Right, right.
So,
Thank you, Erin.
but I do like the organization thing because I like to organize.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that this is my top one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, strategic. People especially talented and strategic create alternative ways to proceed. Faced with any given scenario, they can quickly spot the relevant patterns and issues. Okay, tell us about it.
I don't know, I think I do this a lot out of spite. Like if somebody
like tells me to do something, it makes me want to do the exact opposite. So I'll do it a different way simply just because you told me to do it.
Oh yeah, and you have the gift to be able to do that, develop a different route.
Something like that. I like the way you put it.
I have strategic too, so I'd like to think that I like the shortest route from A to B. I don't like taking the same, like, you know, like I mentioned before, I think my husband and I took this and it makes a lot of sense in some areas. 'Cause I can't remember what he had, but it was opposite of strategic, and it made sense when we're going places. I'm like, why are you taking this way? Even if it's 2 minutes longer, only 2 minutes, why are we going this way? We could have went somewhere else. So it helps too with kind of spouses, I guess, understanding them better. Woo. People, especially talented in the woo theme, love the challenge of meeting new people and winning them over. They derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making connections with another person. Anybody have that as their top one? Okay. Anybody who wants to share, just one of you guys?
This was kind of my job for a while. Just kind of as that fit off the role. Like, this is kind of like what I had to do, and I just really enjoyed it, and so it kind of makes sense. Kind of like, I don't know, I always was the person that, like, if you were, like, in a big crowd, and you, like, see a kid that's, like, not, like, necessarily enjoying, like, the loud music and dancing, you try to go over there and, like, kind of get in, just kind of, like, dance with you in the corner or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, if I'm in, like, a presentation of, like, a group like this, I see, like, there's one group, like, not, like, really paying attention or something, I always, like, go stand over there and, like, kind of, like, preach just to them until, like, they started engaging.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if it's not just a one-on-one scenario trying to win them over, like, I'll try to win, like, that half the group over, but I always do enjoy, like, finding kind of the challenge part of it.
Yeah, man, woo people, you guys are really special because, you know, I have trouble with woo sometimes. Like, I love people, but sometimes it's like if I'm somewhere and it's people maybe not engaging with me, I just won't say anything. I'll just kind of be like, okay, well, we don't have to talk. I'll just chill and do my own thing. But I think it's a really unique gift to have.
Yeah, I go back to that whole, like, athleticism low, enthusiasm high. Like, Lord knows I didn't need to be on the field, but I was still doing my part of the team by keeping in the field.
Yes, and that is important. Like, you know, when I kind of had some of the similar things that you guys mentioned before as far as like competitiveness is like, it was an internal thing. Like if there was someone on the team that wasn't as good, I would never like make them feel bad about it. But in my mind, I'm thinking about, well, how can I be better? What can I control to kind of make someone else better? But I mean, I didn't like losing, so, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so you guys be familiar with these themes, these 4 domains of leadership: executing, influencing, relationship building, strategic thinking. Make sure you know what those themes are. Understand how these, different strengths fall into them. And remember with team building, how can it be beneficial? Like when we look back at this right here, we kind of see, okay, these students here, you know, who has one from each of the 4 domains? You know, if we were to develop a team, who would we want to put on teams together? Because remember, like I said, we want a well-rounded team, not necessarily a well-rounded individual. So you would like to have representation from each of these 4 themes if possible, or 4 domains on your team. You would like to have some people that maybe, like you said, all yours were relationship building, Mackenzie, like all, or 3 of, or 4 of the 5, or something like that, a big chunk of it. So that should be a strong representation of that theme. So if you had someone like that, and then had someone who had more, like I think I have more executing and strategic, then that maybe could be a good balance. So you're wanting to make sure as a leader, if you did do some kind of assessment, you're using this to help you develop more well-rounded teams. Because again, think about your group projects. Now you're seeing some of these strengths that some people maybe had in your group. Maybe it makes you understand how they operate a little bit more, maybe how you worked well or why you didn't work well. So thinking about if I really did have you take this at the beginning of the semester and then I put your groups together based on that, would your presentations have been stronger, or would maybe some of you have been less stressed or more stressed? Who knows? Okay? So definitely want to make sure that you understand that. So I want to quickly go over this worksheet. So you guys are going to watch Temple Grandin the film. It's on your syllabus, like the actual one, so you guys might have to get a free trial, membership, whatever, to look at it. You're going to watch the film in its entirety. There is a Temple Grandin quiz on Canvas that you need to take, and it's due next Tuesday when we come back to class. It's a 5-question quiz, just a movie check quiz. Then you'll also work through this worksheet as you watch the film. So you're going to, at the conclusion of the film, you can do it as you go through, you're going to guess what her top 5 strengths were. So we just went through all of them, so you're going to guess which ones really fit her based off of what you see her do in the film, what her behavior is. And then give some examples over here. You want to give some actual examples from the film and what it was that she did. You can give direct quotes from the film, give at least 2 examples for each strength on how the scene or quote from the film relates to the strength as defined in your textbook. So make sure you read those directions, and you're going to bring this back to class on Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to have review on Tuesday. So I'll have study guides. I may try to make sure it's live for you over the weekend, so you'll kind of see what areas you need to be studying. But we'll definitely review on Tuesday and then prepare for exam Thursday.
If you have Amazon Prime, it's free.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, you'll watch that Thursday. So we will not meet face-to-face on Thursday, but you will watch the Temple Grandin film, and then we'll talk about it on Tuesday. So you'll have the things that are due on Tuesday will be your quiz for the movie check with Temple Grandin, your worksheet for Temple Grandin, and then your Clifton Strengths worksheet that I gave you at the very beginning of class. If you finished it during class, feel free to bring it up, but if not, work on it and make sure you bring that Tuesday. And remember, the part 2 quiz is due this Thursday if you haven't already completed it. Any questions? Okay, well, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Y'all have a good day.